Tuesday, May 26, 2020. Hello, dear internet users. Welcome to yet another edition of the press review on JDCplus TV. The fight against the deadly coronavirus pandemic continued to make headline news on most tabloids published today. The Star newspaper comes back on the head of state's address to Cameroonians on the eve of the celebration of the National Day, with his call for a united front to fight the pandemic. The Star newspaper highlights some other burning issues about the COVID-19 as addressed by the head of state, including the call on political leaders to put aside political squabbles and adopt a common front against the virus, and his warning to Cameroonians to scrupulously respect the measures put in place by the government and the World Health Organization to stem the bubonic plague. We stay with the Star newspaper to talk about Christians' reaction to a viral audio in which a certain CEMAC Thomas threatens to kill the Bamenda Archbishop Monsignor Andrew Nkeya on the pastoral letter issued to be read in churches, in which the latter is appealing to Ambazonia fighters to drop their guns and come out of the bushes. You want to know how the whole issue all started? Get a copy of the Star newspaper published this Tuesday, May 26, and read page 6. From the Star newspaper, we move on to the Sun, which headlines, June the 1st school resumption, teachers say no. According to the paper, teachers of at least 19 trade unions are vehement that classes will not resume on June the 1st, 2020, except clear measures are taken by the government to ensure the safety of both teachers and learners, including, among others, the daily and meticulous disinfection of school campuses, the free availability of hydroalcoholic masks and gels for all students and teachers of all school campuses, limitation of number of students to a maximum of 24 per class, and the provision of special risk bonuses for teachers. In this same edition, the Sun newspaper highlights the warning of the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Malachi Manahuda, on Cameroon's COVID-19 situation entering a complicated phase due to the irresponsible and indisciplined habits of Cameroonians. And next up is the Guardian Post newspaper. The paper asks whether the dumping of the Franc CFA is in sight in the CEMAC sub-region following a recent landmark decision by the French Council of Ministers to vote a bill that will see the end of the use of the Franc CFA in West Africa. According to the Guardian Post, this decision has rekindled hopes that CEMAC leaders will now push for the highly expected divorce with the French currency. For more details, get a copy of the Guardian Post published today and read page 3. Still with the Guardian Post newspaper, let's talk about the COVID-19 scare. It says that June the 1st school resumption is in doubt as teachers set tough conditions. According to Nga Christian's newspaper, the National Syndicate of Teachers Associations in Cameroon has petitioned the Prime Minister, head of government, Chief Joseph Jongute. According to Nga Christian's newspaper, the National Syndicate of Teachers Associations in Cameroon has petitioned the Prime Minister, head of government, Chief Dr. Joseph Jongute, outlining conditions for government to implement if schools must resume on June the 1st amid COVID-19. Ahead of the National Day, two presidents, two speeches, different content, headlines the Post newspaper. The paper comes back on the addresses of the President of the Head of State. The paper comes back on the addresses of President Paul Biya and that of Professor Maurice Kamto, leader of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement Party. The former says, "Don't panic, don't believe in fake news," and the latter, "Our destiny depends on us." The Post thus puts in this question, who addressed burning issues bisecting Cameroon? To have an answer to the question, read page 2 of the Post newspaper published this Tuesday, May 26, 2020. We stay with the Post newspaper to end with this human interest story. The paper says the ritual killing of a 21-year-old girl throws Biya into panic. Read page 7 to have more details on this. And that does it for what the papers had to say today. Thanks for watching. A new edition comes up this Thursday. But until then, don't forget to observe barrier measures against the COVID-19 pandemic in order to stay safe.